Asia is at the center of the global water challenges because its per capita freshwater availability is only half of the global average. In fact, it's one fourth of Europe's and one third of North America's. With such a low availability of fresh water, interstate water competition has become very sharp in Asia. Asia is the center of the global geopolitical change. In fact, Asia is instigating the power shifts in the world. And if water were to become a flashpoint in interstate relations in Asia, it will have an important bearing on international peace and security. China and India are two countries that are dominant in Asia, but also the countries that are most affected by water stress. India's situation is far worse than China's because China's freshwater availability per person is much higher than India's. But there's a lot of variation between nation states. So in China, in the north, there's acute water shortage, but in the south, there's plenty of water. While in India, the situation is bad across much of the country. If water becomes a flashpoint in interstate relations in Asia, the conflicts that might arise from such a trigger will have a bearing on regional stability, on regional peace. But even if water wars are being waged in a diplomatic or economic sense, they could hinder larger regional integration and cooperation. In fact, without any shots being fired, if the wars are being waged diplomatically, the damage they may cause may be as serious as from a potential war. So even if it's a silent hydrological warfare going on, the cost can be enormous. There are problems both within nation states as well as between nation states. Intrastate and interstate water disputes have become rife in Asia. So both within nations as well as between nations, water is a source of increasing competition and underlying discord. Within nation states, when there are water disputes, they tend to fare rather openly because there are no checks on such disputes from being aired publicly, and the rival parties even can take the case to a court of law, or they can agitate on the streets, there can be bloodletting on the streets. But when disputes arise between nation states over water resources, they tend to be more restrained because if they're not restrained, the consequence would be war. It's important for Asia to develop institutionalized cooperation on shared river basins. Right now, most river basins in Asia lack any kind of cooperative mechanism. This is not a recipe for peace and stability. So the first imperative is to build institutionalized cooperation. It's important for Asian states to have norms on shared resources. They also need to invest in holistic and integrated planning at national, provincial, local levels, and also regional levels between nation states that share basin resources. These two steps are essential if water disputes are not to escalate into open conflict.